Right, so there's one thing about making a video like this, and that is don't start with the words right and so, but there is a very good reason for me doing that, and that is because I am completely unprepared. Now, the ticking noise in the background is if you can hear it, is a timer. It's not a bomb or anything scary like that. But the reason for this video, and I think this is probably going to be a separate video to my last Toy Tuesday of 2020, is going to be about this chap here, because this week sadly Jeremy Bulloch passed away, and he was the guy who, amongst a couple of other character actors, played Boba Fett in the films, in the Star Wars films, and he was a lovely man.
So I did a video last week of my favourite ever Star Wars figure, which was IG-88, but there was another bounty hunter character that everyone really seemed to take to.
Now, unless you've lived under one of these, you're not going to know who he is. Ow!
And that was Boba Fett. And he was played by an English character actor called Jeremy Bulloch, who did other little bits of scenes in the Star Wars films, but is probably most famous for being the man in the Boba Fett suit. And it's also,
I'm going to take this off because it keeps sliding, it doesn't stay on. I don't know how they wear these in the movies. Now, Jeremy Bulloch, or Jeremy Andrew Bulloch, according to the internet, was an English actor. During a career that spanned nearly 5 decades, he gained recognition for originating the physical portrayal of Boba Fett, which is a bit of a mouthful and a roundabout way of saying he was the guy that was inside the suit. And he would often joke about his performance, saying all he did was stand there, and the director would say to him, "Do more of that, that's fantastic, that's brilliant." And he thought it was hilarious because he was just standing there in a costume waiting for the scene to be over. Now, to fans, he was at a lot of conventions. We met him at the last ever convention that he attended before he started signing from home, and that's where I got my helmet signed, and he was lovely about it. But due to the unique way that the iCloud works, I no longer have the photograph of him signing it, which is a real shame, because that moment is now lost forever. But for some reason the iCloud didn't delete my picture of William Shatner signing my Starship Enterprise, which is a bonus. Now, like IG-88, I also have a lot of Boba Fett toys, and I'm just going to go and fetch some of them now. Okay, so those technically aren't Boba Fett, but they are Mandalorian, so they kind of relate. Cool hat. Bottle of water from 2016. This is a really cool figure. This is from a guy called One-Eyed Yakface on Instagram. Check him out. He makes these. This is a bootleg of a bootleg figure. It was a copy basically of the figure that became as famous as the figure. So famous that people now copy the copy. It's really cool though. He does some great figures. I have a Boba Fett figure. I have a different version of the Boba Fett figure that's a slightly different colour. I've got a Han Solo and Carbonite, which is nothing to do with Boba Fett, but it does go with the Slave One toy. I have the rocket firing Boba Fett. I have a copy of a Boba Fett gun that's not particularly accurate, but they are quite expensive, so I am working on that. And if you didn't know, this bit in the film, the original prop, I think was a Webley flare gun. Say that again, it was a Webley flare gun. I think it's a Webley Type 1. I think it's from World War I, which they fudged together to make the gun in Empire, and then they added this bit in Jedi to make it look a little bit cooler. But this is just a plastic copy of one. But it still looks pretty good, even though it's got something a bit weird in it that rattles. A Jango Fett figure, which is weirdly skipping and looks like he's broken his neck. And I have a Hot Wheels truck of Boba Fett. I don't know why. I also have the IG-88 one as well. This is a 1960s Ford Econoline pickup. So I have a lot of Boba Fett toys basically. Did I mention the Slave One? That's really cool as well. I begged my mum for one of those to buy at me. I love that toy. It keeps sliding off my head. Now, in case you didn't know this, the idea for Boba Fett was actually originally going to be something like a super duper kind of stormtrooper, and the original costume was completely white, based on some drawings again by Ralph McQuarrie. And I'm just going to put that on there rather clumsily and show you this book. Now, I know I've done little bits of Star Wars history before, but this book has a lot of information about the suit and them creating it and testing it on car parks. In fact, there is the suit all in white, the original kind of super stormtrooper that Boba Fett was intended to be, and then later developed into another character, turned into this bounty hunter to go with all the other evil characters. What I didn't realise though, and I'm going to skip to the very end here and read this bit. Interest in the Boba Fett character only grew after his unexpected death in Jedi. During the editing of the film, Dwayne Dunham had questioned whether Lucas was happy with the way the character had evolved. I believe he was a little bit disappointed by the way the character came off, says Dunham. Boba Fett had a visual presence, but his character was underdeveloped. He didn't really have anything to do. I remember on Jedi, George said, "Throw Boba Fett in the Sarlacc pit, I don't want to see him again." We tried to talk him out of it like, well, he can fly off or something, we don't have to kill him here, and he said, nope, I'm done with him. And that's how Boba Fett came to his grisly end. At least that's what I thought until the brilliant Mandalorian came along. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you've not seen it yet, you've got to check it out. It is jaw-droppingly brilliant, better than any of the Disney movies, which is incredible for a TV series. Thank you to the brain of this man. I just like using that, sorry. I think I said earlier I'm going to split this into 2 videos. I'm not going to have time now to do that, so I'm going to wrap up the Boba Fett bit, and then I'm going to do a little bit of what I was going to do for the proper Toy Tuesday, do a couple of announcements and give you a little bit of information. But for now, if you had any of the Boba Fett toys that you've seen and you want to share your memories, if you have a helmet or a costume, or if you met Jeremy Bulloch at a convention, or any of the other guys who played the who played Boba Fett in the films, then please leave them in the comment section below, because I would love to hear from you. As always, my favourite part of the week is getting stories and messages and photographs all across social media from all the different people that watch the videos. So please share your stories. That's my favourite bit about this. So what I'm going to do now is skip to the next bit of the video. Yes, that's right, we have reached 300 subscribers. Actually, I think it's about 311 now, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you all so much. I think this will be my 24th Toy Tuesday video, so I've not been doing them very long. We've had over 10,000 minutes of views, which is incredible. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. Now, 2020 for many of us may have been, well, what I jokingly call a bit of a gap year. And because we've not been able to get the shop open as much as we'd like this year, this has been a brilliant distraction for me as well. It's helped keep me sane, having all these conversations about great toys and cool stuff and childhood memories, because it has been a terrible year for many of us in many ways. But I don't really want to dwell on that, because it is Christmas time. As well as doing weekly toy videos next year, I'm also thinking of doing videos that introduce subtly some more of the products that we actually sell in the shop in a subliminal manner that you maybe can't tell that we have them, just to show off all the cool things that we have. But there's also going to be videos about cool toys and toy histories. I'm going to be doing lots of unboxing videos. There's going to be a real sort of different mix of the kind of thing that we do, the kind of content that we have. Hopefully there'll be more of it. What I'm actually going to do in January is take a little bit of time off, if that's okay, because we have a bit of year end to do with stock taking. I've some products to research for next year to get in the shop. Fingers crossed if we can get open. Otherwise it's going to be mainly online sales, which I think is the way the rest of the world is going at the minute, but we have to adapt. Also the museum, this is going to be the last year of the museum. we will be closing it in November for the very last time. Hopefully we'll be able to allow visitors up there in more than ones and twos at a time for people to see the incredible stuff that we have. But sadly, this is going to be the last year for the museum too, which is a little bit of a heartbreaker for us, but it's been a 12-year project. I've never really said this before, but a lot of the money, the donations that people have left, have gone to charity over the years and have raised thousands and thousands of pounds for our local hospital, for the lifeboat, for disabled charities, for kidney cancer and other cancer charities as well. So it's been a really rewarding thing to do, but its time has come to an end now. So on that sad note, I am going to wrap up the very last Toy Tuesday of 2020 and wish you all a very Merry Christmas or festive season, and hopefully 2021 isn't shit.